Hey, and welcome back to Fig and Fruit. And this is Troy, and today we're going to talk about moisture, cutting moisture. As you have figured out or are hearing that, you don't want your cuttings too wet. Well, I'm going to show you what I do and how I do it. And there's one thing, you're going to need one tool for this, and you're going to get you one of these. This is a moisture meter. This is just a little cheap moisture meter made in China. It didn't cost 10 bucks. Just a little single probe. It's all you need. Now, these trees here that you're looking at was up potted about 2 weeks ago. And I haven't watered them. And I am going to water them today. But I want you to see how dry they are. That thing is just barely, you know what, let's just put it right down in there again. And we'll get it up here where you can see it. As you can see, it's just barely moving it off the one. That needs water. Okay? Now, you'll notice that 1, 2, and 3 is in the dry area. Well, I generally will water when it won't reach up to the 2, I know I need to water. That one there didn't. Oh, no, that one there didn't. There's none of these. Okay, now that one there, it's a bumping 2. It's bumping 2. I'm not going to water this one. It don't need to be watered. Now, just for reference, let's look at the bottom. You can see it's fairly moist here on the bottom. We'll stick this in the bottom. It's a showing 2 on the bottom. Let's not water that. We'll put that over there. Same way here. Yep, it ain't getting up to 2. Yep, if they don't get up to 2, then you need to water them. Now, we're going to just reach in here and we're going to pull one out with some roots. This has roots, and you can see, I'll get it up here. I hope you can see it here in the camera, but you can see it's got humidity in here. Okay? I have not watered these cuttings either. We're just going to stick this in here and see what it does. Okay, see, it's 3, almost 4, but for the most part, it's well up over 2, and you can push it down there, and it's kind of bumping 3. So, yeah, it doesn't even need water. You can come out the outside here where that moisture is at, and it's easily 2, almost getting up into 3. This one here is ready to pot up, so I ain't worried that I tore the bag. So, I do not want my moisture meter there. If it's up in the green when you're rooting, you can't be over 4. And I'd prefer that it doesn't even really get any higher than that. Let me bring one of my containers of dirt here. Let me show you something else. So, here's some soil. You can look at the moisture on the top of that. You can see it's got a lot of moisture in it. But how moist is that? It's just barely getting up in the green. Just barely. Just barely. You really don't want to root cuttings in anything wetter than that. It's just that simple. So, if you got a moisture meter that's like this, if it's getting up into the moist section, if it's anything past 4, it's too wet. Okay? You want to keep it between 2 and 3.5. between 2 and 3.5. You can be under 2 a little bit. It's better to be a little under 2 than to be at, actually probably even to be at 4 or over 4. Cuttings are way better off being dry than they are wet. Now, as we were seeing here a minute ago, we got some cuttings here that need to be watered. Like I said, they haven't been watered since they were potted up 10 days ago, and I'm going to show you how I pot, what I water them with and how I water them. Now, here's my water mix, and here's what's in it. It has this larvicide in it, and then it has this clone and seedling nutrition in it. Not advertising for anybody. This is what I use. I use it as it's directed on the container. Okay? Now, when I water these things, I only want to give these trees here that was potted up 2 weeks ago. I don't never water the fig pops. I don't never water them. If they're to the point they need to be watered, they should be this far along here. And they generally are. These ain't lost any moisture. Them things have been in them bags since the week after Christmas. So they've been in there a month. They have plenty of moisture in them still. So here's our water. I'm measuring some of it out here. I just got me a mason jar. 2 ounces. 2 ounces is plenty. You want to keep these things, everybody really, I feel like you overwater your cuttings. So we know this one here needs water. We'll get it out here. And I like to come over here and get out here around away from it. And I don't pour it up against the cutting. Just give it a minute, let it go down. I like to pour it more out here on the edge, in the corners. I don't recommend pouring it up against the cutting. 2 ounces. That's all it needs. Don't no more. That'll be plenty. And in probably a week, it'll need watering again. But you can see the leaves all look good. Figs are from a dry climate, and they don't require, they only, as you can see, really only require humidity in the soil to grow. And that is ideal inside in this situation, and we have a lot of other plants, so it's inevitable that the fungus gnats are going to come in here. But by doing it this way and making sure you've always got a larvicide in here every time you water, it pretty much doesn't affect my fig trees at that point. So, well, there's how I do my watering, and I take care of my little trees when I'm potting them up, and I water them and check on them, and that's how I know when they need water or they're too wet. I hope this helps some of y'all with your watering and knowing your moisture issues with your cuttings. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for watching.